Susan Anton, a well-known actress and singer, had an exciting career in the 1970s and 80s. She was banned from The Tonight Show by Johnny Carson. Word on the street is that Johnny Carson didn't like something she did. Rumor has it that after a particular episode, he decided she couldn't come back on his show. People have been talking about this incident for years, wondering what really happened. Was it something she said? Did she make a joke that didn't sit well with Johnny? Or was it something else entirely? This story has all the drama you'd expect from Hollywood, and it shows that even big stars can find themselves in hot water. Let's dive into the details and find out why Susan Anton was banned from The Tonight Show. Early life. Susan Anton, a name many recognize from the world of entertainment, was born on October 12, 1950, in Oak Glen, California. She was born into a loving family, where she was raised with good values and lots of love. Her parents made sure that Susan and her siblings had a happy childhood. The Anton family wasn't rich, but they were close-knit and supported each other through thick and thin. Growing up, Susan had a spark that everyone noticed. From a young age, she showed a keen interest in singing and performing. She loved to sing along to the radio and often put on little shows for her family and friends. But here's the kicker. Susan wasn't just interested in music. She was also very active and loved sports, especially basketball. Imagine a young girl who could sing beautifully and play sports like a pro. That was Susan Anton. When it came to education, Susan was a good student. She attended Yucaipa High School, where she was known for her outgoing personality and talent in music and sports. Rumor has it that she was the star of the school choir and the basketball team. She worked hard in school, but her real dream was to become a performer. After high school, Susan went to San Bernardino Valley College. Here is where it gets interesting. She didn't just focus on her studies. She also took part in beauty pageants, which became a big turning point in her life. In 1969, she won the title of Miss California, which opened many doors for her. Winning Miss California was just the beginning for Susan. Soon after, she started getting offers for modeling gigs. She moved to Los Angeles to chase her dreams. Here is where it gets juicy. Susan's tall, athletic build and striking looks made her stand out in the modeling world. She quickly became a popular face in magazines and commercials. Susan's modeling career took off with some big contracts. One of her most notable gigs was with Muriel Cigars. She became the face of their ad campaigns, and her commercials were a hit. People loved seeing her on TV, and she became a household name. She also modeled for many fashion brands, and her images were featured in top magazines. Some of Susan's most memorable advertisements were for cigars, where she often said the famous line, "Hey, big spender." These ads were everywhere, and they made her even more popular. She also did commercials for other big brands, showing off her versatile talent. She wasn't just a pretty face. She had charm and a way of connecting with the audience that made every ad she did memorable. I said something that I apologized for, and I was trying to be funny, and it was in People magazine. Yeah. I know. I didn't think you were going to come on. Well, John, if you want to talk about it, okay. Rise to fame, Chapter Susan's journey to stardom took off in a big way with her role in the movie Golden Girl back in 1979. Before this, she was known but not yet a household name. Her performance in this film changed everything, catapulting her into the limelight and making her a star overnight. Here's where it gets interesting. Golden Girl wasn't just any movie. It was the movie that turned Susan into a star. In Golden Girl, Susan played the role of a super athlete who had been scientifically enhanced to be perfect. This role showed off her acting skills and her stunning looks, capturing the audience's attention. People couldn't stop talking about her performance, and soon enough, she became a well-known face on TV screens and in magazines. Rumor has it that after this film, everyone wanted a piece of Susan Anton. Anton's breakout role also came in 1984 when she starred in Cannonball Run 2, the 1984 action comedy film directed by Hal Needham, serving as a sequel to the 1981 film The Cannonball Run. Like its predecessor, the film revolves around an illegal cross-country car race where various competitors engage in wild antics and humorous escapades. Susan played Jill Rivers, one half of a duo known as the Lamborghini Babes. Along with Catherine Bach, who plays Marcy Thatcher, they drive a white Lamborghini and use their charm and beauty to distract and evade the police throughout the race. Their characters provide comic relief and are known for their flirtatious interactions with law enforcement officers. After her appearance in Cannonball Run 2 in 1984, Susan Anton's career continued to flourish, mainly in television. She made guest appearances in a wide variety of TV series, showcasing her versatility as an actress. In 1987, she appeared in TV shows like Jonathan Winters on the Ledge, It's Gary Shandling's Show Hotel, and Mr. Belvedere. She also had an uncredited role in the film Making Mr. Right and starred in the TV movie Hardesty House. Throughout the late 80s and early 90s, Anton continued to be a familiar face on television with roles in popular shows like Murder, She Wrote, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Quantum Leap, Night Court, and The Ben Stiller Show. Her appearances range from one-time guest spots to recurring roles, such as her character Sandy Martin in Out of This World and Cassie Strait in Civil Wars. Her ability to adapt to various genres, from drama and comedy to mystery and science fiction, kept her in demand and cemented her place in the entertainment industry. With her newfound fame, Susan didn't just sit back and enjoy the ride. No, she took every opportunity that came her way. She appeared on various TV shows, becoming a regular guest on popular talk shows and game shows. Her charm and beauty made her a favorite among viewers. It seemed like every time you turned on the TV, there she was. This constant presence helped cement her status as a star in the late 70s and early 80s. But wait, here's where it gets juicy. Susan Anton wasn't just about acting. She had a successful music career too. Yes, you heard that right. She wasn't just a pretty face on the screen, she had a voice that could charm just as much as her looks. In 1980, she released a hit duet called Killin' Time with country singer Fred Knoblauch. This song was a big hit, reaching number 28 on the Billboard Hot 100 and M10 on the country chart. People loved it, and it showed that Susan Anton had more than one talent. This success in music added another feather to her cap. She wasn't just an actress, she was a singer too. This dual talent made her even more popular. People started seeing her as a multi-talented star, which only added to her appeal. She wasn't just the golden girl from the movie. She was Susan Anton, the actress and the singer. Here's the kicker. Not many stars can handle both acting and singing careers successfully, but Susan did it with ease. Her ability to switch between these two worlds made her stand out. It was like she could do anything she set her mind to, and people admired her for that. Her success story inspired many young talents who wanted to make it big in showbiz. So what made Susan Anton so special? Well, it was a mix of things. Her talent, her beauty, her charm, and her determination all played a part. But more than that, it was her ability to connect with people. Whether she was acting in a movie, singing a song, or just chatting on a talk show, she had a way of making people feel like they knew her. This connection with her audience is what truly made her a star. She became a household name, not just because of her looks, but because of her skills and her ability to connect with people. Her success in both acting and music is a testament to her versatility and talent. Now let's talk about the Will Rogers Follies. This was a big deal. Imagine a show filled with music, dance, and a lot of fun. Anton was a part of this show, and people couldn't stop talking about her performance. She played a role that showcased her singing, dancing, and acting skills. People on the street were saying, "Did you see Susan Anton in that show?" She was amazing. And they were right. She brought a lot of energy and talent to the stage, making the audience fall in love with her. Now here's the kicker. After the Will Rogers Follies, Susan Anton didn't just stop there. She went on to be a part of Hairspray, another huge hit on Broadway. Hairspray is a fun and lively show, and Susan Anton fit right in. She played a role so well that people couldn't help but notice. Her performance was top-notch, and critics agreed. They said she was versatile, which means she could do many things really well. She could act, sing, and dance, all with a lot of heart. Rumor has it, people were coming to the show just to see her in action. But here's where it gets juicy. Anton's success on Broadway wasn't just about those two shows. Her work in theater showed everyone that she was a performer with many talents. She wasn't just there to look good. She had the skills to back it up. Critics praised her for being so versatile and giving her best in every performance. This critical acclaim means that people who really know theater and performances thought she was fantastic, and that's a big deal. Now, back in the late 1980s, Susan hit a rough patch in her career. Now you might be wondering, what went wrong? Well, it's like this. Just like many other big names of her time, Susan saw her star power dim a bit as the entertainment world started shifting. You know how sometimes things change and suddenly what was hot yesterday isn't as hot today? That's kind of what happened here, see? During this time, Susan wasn't snagging those headline-grabbing roles like she used to. It's like she was flying under the radar, not getting as much buzz as before. Imagine being used to all the attention and then suddenly finding yourself out of the spotlight. It's a tough spot to be in. Now picture this, Susan, once the talk of the town, was now hearing fewer whispers in Tinseltown. It's like the gossip train slowed down, and she wasn't on it as much. And let me tell you, in showbiz, being out of sight can mean being out of mind. People move on to the next big thing real quick. Despite this dip in her career, Susan didn't throw in the towel. Nope, she kept on keeping on, still doing her thing, even when the lights weren't shining as bright on her. That takes some real grit, don't you think? Controversies. When I decided to go into the small cigar business, I didn't want to be second best. Susan sure has had her fair share of romantic controversies that have kept the rumor mills buzzing. Let's dive into the juicy details of Susan Anton's love life. First off, Susan Anton's most notable relationship controversy revolves around her connection with the legendary actor Sylvester Stallone. Back in the 1980s, Susan and Sylvester were an item, causing quite a stir in the celebrity world. Their relationship was the talk of the town, with paparazzi snapping photos and tabloids speculating about their every move. Fans were divided, some rooting for the glamorous couple, while others doubted the authenticity of their love. But like many Hollywood romances, Susan and Sylvester's love story wasn't meant to last. Despite the initial excitement, their relationship eventually fizzled out, leaving fans wondering what went wrong. Rumors swirled about infidelity and conflicting career priorities, but the truth remains shrouded in mystery. Following her split from Sylvester Stallone, Susan Anton found herself in another controversial romance, this time with actor Dudley Moore. Their relationship raised eyebrows due to their stark height difference, Susan towering over Dudley by several inches. Despite the unconventional pairing, the couple seemed genuinely smitten with each other. Their public appearances sparked curiosity and sparked debates about the importance of height in relationships. However, just like her previous romance, Susan Anton's relationship with Dudley Moore eventually came to an end. The breakup fueled speculation about the challenges faced as a couple, including the pressures of fame and the demands of their respective careers. Once again, fans were left to wonder about the real reasons behind the split. But Susan Anton's romantic controversies didn't end there. In the late 1990s, she found herself entangled in yet another headline-grabbing romance, this time with British TV host David Frost. The unexpected pairing caught many by surprise, with media outlets scrambling to uncover the details of their budding relationship. Despite the initial intrigue, Susan and David's romance failed to withstand the test of time, adding another chapter to Susan Anton's tumultuous love life. Throughout the ups and downs of her romantic journey, Susan Anton has remained a fixture in the public eye, captivating audiences with her talent and beauty. Despite the controversies that have surrounded her love life, she has continued to pursue her passions in the entertainment industry, proving that she is more than just the sum of her relationships. Susan Anton's romantic relationships have been a source of fascination and speculation for decades. From her high-profile romance with Sylvester Stallone to her unexpected dalliance with David Frost, she has never been far from the spotlight. While the details of her love life may remain shrouded in mystery, one thing is for certain. Susan Anton's journey through the highs and lows of romance has kept audiences captivated and eager for more. Susan got negative comments from people in the industry or critics about her acting and the roles she picked. This means some folks didn't always think she was doing a good job in her acting gigs, or liked the roles she chose to play. You might have heard some talks on the street about how Susan Anton's acting wasn't always top-notch, or how some didn't think she made the best choices for her career. Now let's break it down a bit more. When we talk about Susan Anton's acting, it's like discussing how well she performed in the movies or TV shows she starred in. Some folks didn't think she always did a great job in these roles. Maybe they thought she could have done better or that her acting didn't quite hit the mark. And then there's the matter of career choices. This is all about the role Susan Anton decided to take on. Some people didn't agree with the part she picked to play. They might have thought she could have chosen roles that showed off her talents more or that were more interesting. Instead of letting the negative comments get her down, she used them as motivation to get better. She worked hard to hone her acting skills and started picking roles that showed off what she could do. It's like turning lemons into lemonade. Appearance on Tonight Show. On this episode, Susan Anton and David Brenner had a super fun and chill convo. Susan kicked things off by joking about how nervous she was that her blouse might fall off, and the host cracked some jokes to make her feel better. Susan was hyped about flying in just for the show, saying it was her first time dealing with such a crazy, busy schedule. The host totally related, sharing his own wild story about commuting between Las Vegas and The Tonight Show for 5 nights straight, dealing with major jet lag, and how it was such a nice change to talk to a live audience instead of casino crowds. That was great that you flew in, that you're flying in, and you go back and you work tonight. Yes, it's the first time I've ever done that. I've always, these people that come on The Tonight Show, well, I have to jet off and do my show now, and I feel so important. That makes total sense. Susan wasn't just a star on screen. She was also a total poster girl, right up there with Farrah Fawcett and Suzanne Summers, representing everything cool about 80s fashion. Her style was like the ultimate 80s vibe. Super bold, colorful, and totally extra. Think big shoulders, white jeans, rocking underwear as outerwear, and massive jewelry. Although she wasn't spotting any major jewelry on this episode, it was all about that power dresser look, but also punk vibes. So you had this mix of styles that were totally out there and expressive. All that combined with that voice, it makes sense she was that busy. Everybody wanted a piece of her. I did it one time when I was hosting this show. I was working Vegas, and I did it every night for 5 nights. But it was fun because you're in constant jet lag. Then they started talking about the wild stuff people do in Vegas. They laughed about how gamblers are so eager they start hitting the slot machines right in the airport. The host joked about how different people are on flights to Vegas, all hyped up and talking about their winning strategies, versus the super quiet, reflective vibe on the flights back home. It's so nice to sit down and look at an audience that's not pulling a one-arm band in or, screaming because they didn't hit 21 or something like that. These are pretty normal people. Civilized, yes. Until they get to Vegas, they get off the plane and they run. Susan then talked about her latest adventure, sailing. The host was surprised, thinking she didn't seem like the type for such a tough activity. She laughed and said she actually preferred using a motorboat in Vegas, way easier and more chill. They both agreed on how beautiful Lake Mead is just outside the busy city, and how not many people know about it. I heard that you have been taking sailing lessons. Yes, I went sailing. Yeah, I loved it. You seem the most unlikely candidate to be a sailor. To pull ropes? Yeah. Did you ever sail? Only once, and I was seasick for 7 hours. The convo got personal when Susan started talking about her dad, a sergeant with the Yucaipa Sheriff's Department. The host, whose dad was also a cop, totally related. Susan shared how scary it was for her dates to face her dad, who would grill them hard before letting them take her out. Your father's he's a sergeant now. He's a sergeant with the Yucaipa Sheriff's Department. Yes. Wow, so you have a father who's a cop. You bet. How about do you have a record that... Susan shared a funny beauty fail from back in the day. She followed a magazine tip about using hot olive oil to condition her hair, but got distracted by a phone call. Next thing she knew, the kitchen was on fire because she tried to put out the overheated oil with water. The host in the audience cracked up, totally vibing with the DIY beauty struggles. I said, well, naturally, fire. Let's put water on it. threw water on it. The whole kitchen went up in this huge mass of flames. My hair was not conditioned too well, it was more like fried, I had to go and get it cut off. I had a little third-degree burns, little splashes all over my body. So ever since then, I don't to pick up on too many of those beauty tips because I don't seem to execute them too well. Be leery of hot oil. As they kept chatting, they started reminiscing about performing in some not-so-glam spots. Susan talked about her gigs at the Marina, a singles hangout where people would get so hyped on the dance floor that they treated her performance like background music. The segment wrapped up with the host giving Susan major props for her talent and hustle. He brought up their mutual buddy, comedian Shecky Green, and Susan said she'd give him a shout-out. The David's chill and accommodating vibes and Susan's charisma made the episode super entertaining, leaving the audience hyped for more. She had her own show, presenting Susan Anton, which was a big deal and boosted her TV cred. Plus, she nailed it in the drama series Cliffhangers, proving she could handle any role. On Broadway, she crushed it in the Will Rogers Follies and Hurly Burly, showing off her range, and she killed it as Velma Von Tussle in Hairspray in Vegas, then again at the Hollywood Bowl. And let's not forget she shared the stage with legends like Frank Sinatra and Tom Jones, proving she's the real deal in the entertainment world. Susan Anton is basically a boss at everything she does, whether it's movies, TV, or rocking the stage. Total legend. Awards and honors. Anton earned many awards and honors for her work. People love her for her beauty, talent, and hard work. Over the years, Susan has been nominated for and won several awards. One of her most famous awards is the Golden Globe nomination she received in 1979. This award is given to the best actors and actresses in movies and TV shows. Susan was nominated for her role in the TV show, Mel and Susan Together. Even though she did not win, being nominated was a big honor. Susan also won the Miss California Beauty Contest in 1969. This helped her start her career in entertainment. Winning this contest showed everyone that Susan had both beauty and talent. It opened many doors for her in the industry. Another important award she won was the Theatre World Award in 1981. This award is given to actors and actresses for their outstanding work in theater. Susan received this award for her performance in the Broadway musical, The Will Rogers Follies. Her amazing singing and acting impressed everyone. Anton has contributed to many areas of entertainment. She started as a model and quickly became famous. She was featured in many magazines and TV commercials. Her beautiful looks and charming personality made her a favorite among advertisers. Susan also had a successful singing career. She released several albums and performed in concerts. Her singing talent added to her popularity and brought her many fans. Susan Anton's career shows that she is a talented and hard-working entertainer. She has achieved a lot and continues to inspire many people. Her awards and honors are well-deserved, and her contributions to the entertainment industry are truly remarkable. Recent activities and projects. Susan has been busy lately with many exciting projects. Here is what she has been up to. She has been seen in several recent film and television roles. She starred in a TV movie called Sharknado: The Fourth Awakens, which was a fun and action-packed film about sharks and tornadoes. People loved seeing her in this thrilling adventure. Susan also appeared in a popular TV show called Law and Special Victims Unit. In this show, she played a character who helped solve crimes, and her performance was praised by many viewers. These roles show that Susan still shines on the screen. She has also been performing in various concerts and musical events. She has a beautiful voice that people love to hear. Susan has been singing classic songs from the past, as well as some new ones. She recently performed at a special event in Las Vegas where she sang in front of a big crowd. The audience was thrilled, and they gave her a standing ovation. Her singing continues to captivate people of all ages. Susan has been working behind the scenes with her husband through their production company, Big Picture Studios. However, after being absent from acting for many years, her current project, Idle Chat, is a nostalgia talk show airing on Retro TV. Hosted by Anton, the show reunites iconic cast from film, television, and the recording industry, some of whom haven't seen each other in years. Filmed at the famous Hollywood Museum, the show has completed 8 episodes featuring well-known actors and cast from shows like Knots Landing, Love Boat, and Happy Days. The premise of the show is twofold: to bring back nostalgia and to allow cast members to reconnect, sharing their joy, memories, and stories with the audience. It's a celebration of cultural history and the connections that have shaped entertainment over the years. Susan is also active in public events and interviews. She enjoys connecting with her fans and sharing her experiences. Recently, she attended a charity event to help raise money for a good cause. At the event, she spoke about the importance of helping others and inspired many people to give back to their community. Susan has also been interviewed on several talk shows. During these interviews, she talks about her career, her life, and her latest projects. She shares funny and interesting stories, which makes the interviews very enjoyable to watch. Susan Anton has been keeping busy with all these activities. She continues to act, sing, and inspire people with her talent and kindness. Her recent roles in films and television, her musical performances, and her participation in public events show that she is still a beloved star. People are always excited to see what she will do next, and Susan never disappoints. She remains a shining light in the entertainment world, and her fans look forward to her future projects.